A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please settle down. We are about to get proceedings underway this morning. All righty. A very good morning to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Apologies that we are running late this morning, but nonetheless, it's good to see each and every single one of you here today. My name is Rachel Makura. I'm a sports broadcaster on television as well as radio, and I'm facilitating proceedings this morning as we launch the 2025 Telkom Netball League. Right? I can't believe we are here, guys. 6 years later, from the year that Telkom came on board back in 2019, we're celebrating 6 years of excellence. I think that deserves a round of applause. Right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are celebrating the journey of the players from first pass to crown, and we celebrate the spirit of unity, the growth, as well as the excellence in South African netball. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, let me take a moment to acknowledge, as well as extend a warm welcome to our esteemed stakeholders and dignitaries that are here this morning. Representatives from Netball South Africa, our valued partners from Telkom, the Executive Brand and Communications Manager, Ms. Helen Dinawane, the Honourable Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Ms. Peace Mabe, who's here this morning with us, Minister, the Gauteng MEC of Sports and Education, the Honourable Madomi Chelwane, the Northwest MEC of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation, the Honourable Tsotso Tlapi, the Limpopo MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture, the Honourable Funani Jerry Maseko. Also in our midst this morning is from the Office of the Presidency, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Sipho Mbele, as well as the Vice President of SASCOC, Lwandle Simelane. Also in our midst this morning is the team, as well as the ambassadors and the coaches of the Spar Baby Proteas, and of course, our dedicated members of the media whose coverage helps elevate the game to greater heights. And of course, last but certainly not least, our passionate netball supporters whose energy as well as enthusiasm continues to drive the growth and the sport forward. All protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto stage Mr. Vivian Lottering, who is the President of the Gauteng Sports Confederation, for the opening remark.
Program Director, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for introducing me correctly. I know I'm in the netball and my name is Vivian. Saturday evening at another function of one of these sporting federations, I was introduced as Mrs. Vivian Lottering. So my name fits in with netball. Let me start by the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture in the province, the President of Netball South Africa, Telkom, our sponsors, our MECs from our different provinces, our head coach, and our own MEC specifically. We love this man, Mr. Chelwane. We love him. Give him a hand. He's our pillar here. And I also want to acknowledge and welcome specifically the President of Netball in Zambia that made time to come here. I'm not a politician, and I'm scared I might leave out names, so I say like the Program Director, all protocol observed. I'd like to welcome you in the house of champions. MEC, and I hope I'm being covered by you. I was attacked now on the lift when they say, you and Gauteng steal our athletes. I said, no, we can't help. We are the home of champions. We make champions in Gauteng. So welcome everybody to the home of champions. Netball, in particular, President, I must share with you, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. 2 weeks ago, I was in the Eastern Cape for a family funeral. And as I drove to meet my family in the small town of Humansdorp, I went past one of the schools and I saw this activity. And when I stopped, because my one cousin is a teacher at the school, I went to greet him. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the growth of netball at school level, it was amazing. There was over 300 kids playing netball in the Eastern Cape, in a rural town. So well done, netball, for the work that you do and at grassroots level. As a confederation, obviously we're very proud to be associated. Netball is one of our members and we'll always support netball in the province of Gauteng. And I mentioned specifically our MEC's name. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very close to the MEC and I'm saying it with a good heart. This man's heart beating, his heart is beating for sports and he supports us all the time. And I'm very privileged to say, MEC, thank you so much for what you do for sport in this province specifically. I know the other MECs do also a lot of work. Sorry, Luandile, I forgot about you. Our Vice President of SASCOC, sorry, I forgot about you. Sorry, you're sitting there in the corner. Sorry that I acknowledge you, but thank you very much for what you guys are doing. Government plays a very important role in making sure that they support and enable us as federations. Gauteng has got 54 sporting federations. And our task is to make sure that we as sports people make a change in the lives of our people. Sport has got that power. And thank you so much for what MECs and Director Generals in the provinces are doing and supporting our federations and growing sport in the province. Again, I don't want to talk much. I'm short. They say short guys talk a lot. So I'll cut it short because the president has already showed me the finger. Welcome here. Enjoy this presentation. Enjoy Telkom. Thank you very much. Enjoy this launch. And again, feel at home. It is your home. Gauteng is your home. This is where things are happening in the country. Thank you very much.
Mr. Lottery, thank you so much for those words, sir. Allow me to also acknowledge the presence of Bojanala Platinum District Municipality Director for Community Services. That's Mr. Dumi Lehari, who's here this morning with us. We'll get to explain a little bit later why this is quite important, because the 2025 TNL tournament will be hosted in the Northwest Province. So quite excited to have her in our midst this morning. So the president is here of Netball South Africa. She's itching to go because as things stand, guys, we are in for an incredible 2025 season. So allow me to call onto stage the president of Netball South Africa, that's Ms. Cecilia Molokwane, to help us look forward to the 2025 season and also talk about the importance of this league from a South African point of view. President, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Minister of Sport, Mepis Mabe, MEC of Sport in Gauteng, Tate Matume Shilwani, MEC of Sport in Northwest, Salayame, Tsotso Tlhapi, MEC of Sport, the province that I lay my head at, home, Limpopo, MEC Jerry Maseko, First Vice President of SASCOC, Bogoto, the President of Zambia Netball, the Treasurer of Africa Netball. Mama, I want you to stand up. I want people to look that if you work together as Africans, nothing is impossible. She came to embrace our beautiful occasion. Ndate Sipombele from the Office of the President of the country, who is here. Let me acknowledge the executive of Netball South Africa. Let me acknowledge the shotgun. He knows every time I'm with him, there's no way I'll do this to him and say, Vivian, you're really short. So he knows I do that always to him. So the president of Gauteng Sports Confederation, and congratulations for your re-election. We need to mention that. And Mama Helen Dinawe, they say Telkom, Filio Monati. I say Telkom, Netball, it's your Monati. You must understand that. Then let me also acknowledge the head coach of the country, Mejeni van Dijk. Another head coach of the Baby Spa Proteas, who's here, who's taking us to Gibraltar in September to take on the stage, to take on the world. My precious Mthembu. She's also with the team manager who's going with her to Gibraltar, me Dennis Botma. I see the team manager of the Spa Proteas, me Vinolia, Austin. I always say, "Umutlobo mang," and she goes like, "You can talk." Then we've got the SA development coach. People don't know that we've got a national SA development coach. Once that develops the players that is here, Meroxen Matthias. We've got the legend. I cannot, when I took my eyes and threw them in the room, I saw her and my heart was overwhelmed when I saw her. And I was like, wow, she's here. The former captain of the Spa Proteas, Bongiwe Msomi, it's here. I just couldn't not talk about you when I see you around, because I know that me and you, our heart are green, and our blood are green. So we talk the green language. Let me acknowledge the super fans that are here. I see Genevieve, who's here. I see Mama Joy. Let's see our mascot. Today I'm honored, and I'll tell you why, MEC and Deputy Minister. When I took my eyes and laid them this side, I've never seen what I see in any Telkom netball launch. I've done launches for 7 years. The first time we started, it was a sad one. MEC, it's after I've lost my husband. And I was mourning. I was in serious mourning at the time. And Telkom made my mourning easy when I got that call from Telkom, from a woman, by the way, by the name of Mama Noma Faku. I'll never forget that call. She said, I saw you on TV yesterday and you were pleading for a sponsor because you are saying brutal food is leaving, because we tend to want to put people here in front, but don't forget about the people who started the process. And I want to start about Mama Noma Faku. You don't hear. She's the one who gave me the call. And at the time, she was the one who said, we want a girl child not to struggle, not to suffer. We want to be on board. I felt I'm dreaming. I thought maybe I drank something that I shouldn't drink. My world was just opening up after a very sad moment. And she said to me, can you come to Telkom offices tomorrow? By the way, I didn't even know where Telkom offices were. And I said, where? She said, in Pretoria. And I went. And she said, how much do you want? And I said to her, for this to happen, we only need 8 million. She said, I'll double the amount. I couldn't believe my eyes at the time and moment. And I said, God, you're great. They always say you show up when nobody can show up for you. You must just have to trust in God and trust the process. And in Isaiah 60 verse 22, it says, I, God, when the time is right, will make it happen. And that's when the time was right, that woman made it happen for another woman. So as I look in the room, I see people from districts, from provinces. It never happens that people come like this to a launch, to come and support us and do this. It means as Netball South Africa, there's something right that we are doing. We are not perfect, we'll never be perfect. Nobody's immortal, and no one can claim in this room that they are perfect. You have to learn from your mistakes. You have to do them so as you learn from them. So Telkom, when it started 7 years ago, I'm going to talk about Telkom, because I told the history of brutal food, was leaving just after I was elected, and I was like, yeah, this is a test. And I'm like, yeah. And God answered immediately after I said, yeah, this is a test. And brutal food, when it started, we had 10 teams, 2 from Gauteng and each team from each province. And as I looked at it, I said, I'm a former coach. I'm a former player myself. I've got knees today, MECs, I can tell you, that are not working because of netball. I once broke my wrist. My right hand was 6 months not working. Couldn't do anything. I was bathed. I was netball. I can tell you, netball has taken away so much time of my kids. I always say my 8-year-old raised her child. Raised herself. Because when she was only 2, the father passed on and she was born. And when she was 9 months old, I was elected president. So basically, this kid raised herself. So netball took her away. I remember the other day when I said to her, I'm going to netball. She says, you are the mother of the nation. I looked at her and I said, hello, what did you say? She says, you are the mother of the nation. She said, as you go, Mama, go and share love. And I said, what? She said, go and share love and tell the netball people, I love them. So every time I go, I tell the netball people that my daughter loves you. Because of you share her, she shares you with me. So Telkom, when they took over, they said to me, Helen, you said to me you're testing the waters. You said we don't know how deep these waters were in 2019. And I said, try me for a year. It's fine. I don't mind. I'll show you flames. And I didn't show them flames. I showed them a volcano. And they came back and said, we are signing for another 3 years. And I said, what did I say to you? And now they loved it. Then when I came to Netball South Africa, I said, hashtag taking netball back to the people. You are the president of the people, by the people, for the people. So I said to them, let us grow this Telkom Netball League. We cannot sit with 10 teams. Other provinces are bigger than Gauteng when it comes to demographics. So what do we do? Yes, Gauteng, take nothing away from them. The netball is in Gauteng. They are the best. They've won this league, I don't know, as much as I can remember. I mean, Jenny van Dijk won it 5 times. You know, and nobody, I don't think, can ever beat the thing again. But last year, Free State showed us that they want it badly. And netball this year, I can tell you, when we talk about the Telkom of this year, it's going to be an exciting one. Because I can tell you the Jaguars coach wants to win. The Craneham's coach wants to maintain the crown. And the Fireballs coach is saying, I once won it. I want to win it again. So it's going to be, and the things are saying, we've been knocking on this door. You know, we've been knocking and we don't want to knock anymore. We want to take this. So it's going to be very exciting. Don't even forget the B section. Very exciting section to watch. You don't know who's going to win at what time. The main thing about this year's tournament, Martha, my president from Zambia, is the under-21s are playing in this tournament. And we make sure that we pay them well so as we can go and beat you in Gibraltar. We beat you once here at home, but now we want to go and beat you in the world. In Africa, we did. So we wanted to make sure that we prepare them well so as we can go and not participate, Deputy Minister. There's a difference going to a tournament to participate and to compete. We want to compete, and we are going to Gibraltar to compete. And the good news is Zimbabwe is coming. Zimbabwe will be playing TNL this year, Zimbabwe national team. That's how we are growing TNL, and that's why we are spreading our wings to say, Zimbabwe asked us. We did not even say to them, we did not invite them MECs. We never invited them. They asked us to say, can we be part? This is a competition that one needs, that one can participate in. We've got a sponsor now. They want to be part of us. Can we come? You know, as a South Africans, hospitality and accepting people is what we love doing, and growing the sport together. We did that. And this is going to be very exciting. I remember when the CEO called me and said, who are the models of this year, President? And I'm like, the under-21s will be the models. I want South Africa to know them. Everybody knows about the Spa Proteas, but people don't know about the baby Proteas that are going to the World Cup. I said, I want people to know them. And as they come in here, I wish whoever will be announced them can do justice and say, this is Mbali Dipoko, because I know them by heart, all of them. I wish people can say, this is Mbali Dipoko. Mbali originates from Herigwala in a district in KZN. She's now studying at the University of Free State. I wish people can know what I know and say that about these players. So people can know these players and know who they are. I wish people can say, this is Carla Victor. Carla is a player from Free State. She now studied at CUT into the Free State. And I wish people can say what I'll be saying when they introduce them. So we can know these players. We can associate with them. We can know who they are. So TNL is growing. It will grow. And we want it to grow better than this. So our aim, Deputy Minister, is to turn netball professional. TNL cannot be killed. TNL will always be there because that will be the feeder of this professional league. Because if you didn't play TNL, we'll say you cannot be in the professional league because it's going to be simple. So as people can understand that you have to play the Spa Champs, where everybody is, the 52 districts are represented there. And then we say, if you don't play the Spa Champs, you cannot play TNL. If you cannot play TNL, it's obvious. You cannot play the professional league. So to us, it's very important and key that whatever we are doing, we are thinking of pumping more money into a girl child. The minister always says, a child on a court or on a sports field is a child out of court. I always say, a child on a netball court is a child out of a court of law. So we must make sure that we take these kids and grow with them. And MECs that are here, we need you to support your teams. Why are we saying this? Because this is high performance level. Northwest is blessed. They've got a high performance center by the University of Northwest at Dr. KK. Gauteng, I cannot talk about how many high performance centers you have. I mean, you've got Tax, you've got UJ now, you've got Verds. We can mention them, they are here. Limpopo, we still have to see one. That we want a high performance center. I would love to see that because the talent that we have in Limpopo, most of the players, I can tell you, MECs that are playing in these provincial teams are from Limpopo. Originally, when they go home at holidays, they go home to Limpopo. I can tell you that. They go home to Mpumalanga. They go home to Northern Cape. They go home to these districts, these provinces that don't have performance centers. So it's a point that we cannot run away from, and we need to talk about it. Coach Praises, I want to say to you, today is the day that we should say to you, you have a very big task on your hands. You're going to Gibraltar. We ended up in 2017 as number 7. We were number 5 when we went to 2017 World Championships. We ended up as number 7. That was a humiliation. We have to talk about it. Whether things are good or bad, we cannot say things were bad. We can't talk about it. They were bad. The results were very bad. We need to go to Gibraltar and change the narrative and turn the cards around. And we believe in you. We believe in the team that you selected. Little do people know that we don't select the team as Netball South Africa. I only ratify. I ask you a very simple question. Are you happy with the team? Because when you come back, you have to answer. And when you say yes, we give you the team. So as we go forward, Coach President, Coach President, I'm prophesying. You might be the next president of Netball South Africa. I'm prophesying. You'll never know your road. I was a coach. I'm the president today. So you never know the road, how it is. So I'm saying to you, Coach Precious, when we appointed you, I'm going to tell you, people were not happy. People were talking negative things. We believed in you. We knew your potential. And I always say, if you don't give somebody an opportunity, how will you say they're doing wrong? How will you judge? Because we like judging even though we are not God, but we like judging. So Coach Precious and Coach Pumza Maweni and your team manager, Dennis, I'll talk about you because we appoint you as Netball South Africa. It's very simple. Go and compete. Go and represent the country very well. Go and make sure that it's a memory that will stay in those kids' minds forever. Never forget the most important thing. As they are playing, they are under 21s, they are young. Let them have fun. Because in all this, we forget that our players must have fun. And I want to say to you, in everything that will have happened in the cloakroom, in your one-on-one sessions, in your video sessions, in all those things that you're making us pay for that are so expensive, make sure that they have fun at the end of the day. And to all our sponsors, let me talk to Telkom. We are who you are, and you are who we are. Because of with each other, we complement each other. We don't do this thing that women do all the time. Women want to compete all the time. They don't want to complement each other. We complement each other very well. I wish this relationship can go beyond. And I said, when my husband was still alive, when I get bored or so I'll go to that little box and look for a marriage certificate. And you know what I wanted on that marriage certificate? A very little sentence, expiry date. And I've never got it. So it means till death do us part. So I want this relationship with Telkom to go forward. We want growth. We want to see ourselves going somewhere. I always say, I believe in what the late president of Tanzania, which was Tanganyika at the time, he made it to be Tanzania through independence. President Julius Nyerere, he said, a good actor knows when to leave the stage. So we don't want to say, me and you tomorrow will be there. But we have to know. We don't have to be posed on when to do that. As I say that, all the sponsors that are here that are supporting netball, you're not doing it for Cecilia Molokwane. You're doing it for a girl child who wants to change their lives. You're doing it for a boy child who wants to change their life. You're doing it for a coach who believes in their potential. You're doing it for an assistant coach, a manager, a technical person, an umpire who believes that netball can change their lives. You're not only doing it for that, you're doing it that they say social cohesion brings the country together. There's nothing, I've seen it. We can differ. All of us are from different political parties here. But when it comes to sport, we are one. We are proudly South African. So there's nothing that brings us together like sport. So wherever you're sitting and wherever you're saying to yourself, thank you for the support. We are you are us. Media houses, thank you for the support you've given us through the years. Yes, we will do wrong, and never keep quiet when we do wrong. Come out there, protect us. But as you're protecting us, tell us the good news and tell us the bad news. Thank you so much for everybody who's here. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the 2025 season of Telkom Netball League, starting at my birth province of Northwest, going to Bujanala, my district of birth, starting there at Sun City on the 26th of April. It's going to Sun City. That's why we have the MEC here to be with us. And thank you so much for everybody who's supporting us. Let us also support, please, the baby Proteas. As I end, I say, they call me Cecilia Molokwane. Some call me the president of Netball South Africa. Some call me the president of Africa Netball. Some call me director in World Netball. I call myself the chosen one.
I guess a woman that holds different titles, Africa Netball President, Director at World Netball, at the Chosen One, the People's President, the woman that phrased taking netball back to the people. Madam President, thank you so much for those words. I remember back in 2019, we pestered her as the media because we were quite concerned about the fact that the other sponsor had decided to, walk away. And we said, Madam President, what's going on? Is this league going to take place this year? Because the basis, the success of this league was mainly on the sponsorship deal. And we were quite worried because you'd wanted to bid to host the 2023 Netball World Cup. And we always said as the media that the success of that Netball World Cup will also be bound on the success of whether this country has a professional league. And years later, here we are, celebrating this partnership with Telkom South Africa. And that's where we find our next speaker. Let me welcome onto stage Telkom Executive Brand and Communications, Ms. Helen Dinawane, who will share a few words about this partnership. What fuels this partnership between Netball South Africa as well as Telkom? What is the driving force behind it? And will this marriage continue for years to come? Ms. Helen, it's your turn now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am in the presence of greatness. I am honored to be standing in front of you to represent Telkom, and I'm in the Telkom blue colors. For us as Telkom, this is a brand that year after year we've backed this sport, and with pride and unrelenting support. As we gather to launch the 2025 Telkom Netball League, I want to start by reflecting on a few words. I'm here with my team, Wave team, a team of females, the team who supports netball, the team who supports sport. I think the few words that we've put together as a team is from first pass to crown. For us, this is not a campaign line. It is our commitment. It is a promise to every girl who picks up a netball in the township, in any way. It is an invitation to dream big, to play bolder, and to grow with courage. Because at Telkom, our belief has always been clear. From a Telkom point of view, we always believe in access. What we mean by access is that we give people access, whether it's through connection, whether it's opportunity, or if it's through the court, which is why we are so happy to be here today. We enable everyone to stand tall, and with that, it makes everyone to thrive. The Telkom League is where South Africa's netball story comes alive. It is where a young woman turns their potential into power. For us, netball, it's where the future national heroes begin the journey, from the first pass to the moment they are crowned champion. And I'm so happy to sit here and look at the champions in the room. This year, we continue to elevate the game, and we're doing it through a strategy that is rooted in impact, in community, and in inspiration. I think for us, our strategy for this year is very clear. We want to build visibility. Cecilia, we want to build visibility. We want to make sure that we grow the sport with pride and with connection for both the teams and the players. And for us, we're also championing our 16 powerhouse team. It's good to also hear that there's the babies that are involved in the league and the under-21 national team. We want to give them the platform that they deserve. And that's what we promise from a Telkom point of view. It is very important for us to continue to shape this league because it is the Premier League that develops the pathway to the national stages. For us as Telkom, we do not play when we say possible begins here. We believe it. Possible really begins here. You will see possible begins here coming across in every aspect of this campaign. You will see it from the broadcast, you will see it on digital. I mean, the team is working on an amazing campaign that we are just about to launch. Netball will be visible. It will be felt and it will be celebrated. So what's in it for us for 2025? I think in 2025, as the president has said, we are taking things to another level. For us, we believe that the impact will be real. And over the last few years, our collective work with the netball has created a tangible change in the country. We've increased the professional pathways for women in sport. We've helped the players go from provincial talent to national team selection. And we've kept the audiences growing, both on TV and in the stands. And this year we are going to call on the fans. Our campaign is really going to call on the fans to stand behind the women and the sport. But perhaps we have contributed to a girl child, and we believe that we've made things possible. So from a Telkom point of view, when we say from first pass to crown, we're also saying we are ensuring that you are moving from being overlooked to being seen. We want to make sure that we are moving from fighting for recognition to demanding respect, from playing for fun to playing for your future, because sport is also a profession. That's what this league represents, and these leagues really tangibly demonstrate what possible begins here. So why does Telkom care? I think for us from a Telkom point of view, we are passionate about creating a South Africa where everyone can stand tall. For us, sport, especially sport for women, it is a powerful tool that makes things happen. And netball is one of the biggest sports in the country, yet historically it has not been given the platform that it deserves. So that is why, from a Telkom point of view, we want to invest in the sport to make sure that we put real investment, which is money. We also want to make sure that we do real amplification, which we'll see across the country when the netball campaign goes live. And we also want to have a real belief around it, that it is something that everyone looks up to, and it is real. We are not just sponsoring netball from a Telkom point of view, but we are redefining what sponsorship is all about. We also want to bridge the gap between potential and opportunity. And we are very grateful that you're giving us this opportunity. We are building a pipeline of excellence. I mean, there is excellence sitting in the room. We are building not just players, but it's excellence for the coaches, the officials, the broadcasters, all the broadcasters that are here today, from the marketers, my team sitting here that are doing an amazing job, and all the administrators. And we are not just doing this as a short thing or a once-off campaign. For us, it is a long-term platform that we're building. So when we say from first pass to crown, and we are launching Netball League, I want to thank the Netball South Africa for your trust, for trusting us as Telkom, for your collaboration, and your relentless drive for the sport. I'm just excited seeing Mama Joy here. Our team of athletes who carry this league with pride and who inspire us every day, we thank you. And to the fans, the communities, and every young girl who's watching today from wherever you are, this one is for you. So for this season, let us remind us of our power. Let it reflect the grace, and the glory of South African women. So we invite you all. We say, let's stand tall and let's walk with pride from first pass to first crown. Telkom, possible begins here. I thank you.
The game is changing. The court is no longer just
Those who stand tall. Another incredible campaign from Telkom. You'd remember in 2023, there was also the Stand Tall campaign in that year. So massive congratulations, Ms. Helen, with your team for coming with such an incredible campaign for the 2025 season. Well done. Who's excited now? Surely we are excited for the 2025 season of the TNL. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, up next, I'd like to call up onto stage the Gauteng MEC of Education, as well as Sports, Arts and Culture, the Honorable Matume Chelwane, for a remark. He will then, after that, introduce the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Ms. Peace Mabe.
Yaleboga. Thank you so much, Program Director Sanbonani, Molweni, Dumelang, Abshin, Kinda. Good, still morning, there's 2 minutes left before. So still morning, good morning, and goeiemorgen. I hope I've covered everyone. Olochan, Otowel. Mine is quite simple. I just want to get this part right of greeting. You know, when you're a politician, you must greet. Because if you don't greet them, they take it personal against you. So this one does not recognize us. We're not going to go for them and support them. So the president of Netball, South Africa, or the president of Africa, and director of International World Netball Body, and the chosen one. I'm man. I came here to an event and I'm leaving inspired. The deputy minister, Mayor Peace Mabe, she's also my colleague in other spaces as well. Very committed woman in sports. You know, I follow her on social media. Of late, if I want an update on sports development, I just go to a Facebook page or X account and I know what is the results, especially on the international space. So she continually updates. It shows that she's quite conscious as to what's happening in all sporting codes. My colleagues from the executive councils across the other provinces, Northwest, Limpopo, I have to say this, Gauteng does not take anybody's athletes, please. But one thing I can tell you, nobody wants to stay in a village. So you can't blame me. When they want Louis Vuitton, they come here. When they want Gucci, there's no Gucci in Limpopo, my friend. So they have to come to Gauteng. So it's not me. Don't blame me. It's not me. I've done nothing wrong, you know. But by the way, you must not underscore that Gauteng is producing talent, President. I mean, just now, over the weekend, we had a good time as a Gauteng at the level of school sports. Track and field, we went there, we just summarized everybody as Gauteng, we took number one, we came back. And these are scholars, so I don't want to assume that these scholars are, we took them from Limpopo school and brought them here in Gauteng. No, don't take that, please. We are producing talent as a province. They won number one in track and field, defeating everybody. I think out of those medals, they got about 124 medals across this at the track and field. And then they went to swimming. They took number one as well in swimming. So home of champion is not, vice president, is not just a saying, it's a fact. You know, that Gauteng does take these championships. We even donate soccer matches. I mean, when we know that the Netball Cup final will be a Gauteng final, but it's okay. We can donate them to Mpumalanga or Limpopo, I don't know, Northwest. You'll just share something somewhere there. But the reality is that the teams that are playing there will be from Gauteng. That includes the teams that will play in this final, the TNL. It's the Jaguars and the Fireballs. So those are the finalists. So just brace yourself. Don't say we've done something, there's an underhand. There's no underhand. Here it's just performance all the way. We're just winning, you know. You know, there's one man there, a DM in America, very problematic fellow. He's currently leading that country. He says something very strange, and you know, I liked it when he says, we're winning everything. You know, we're winning so much, we'll be so tired of winning. So that's how we are in Gauteng. We're sometimes tired of winning and saying, no, it's okay, man, let's give other people a chance so that at least even these sports can grow outside. They must also believe that you don't have to be in Gauteng to actually be a champion. But we do make champions. The sponsors, Telkom, you play a very critical role. There is no sports development that can take place without sponsors at all. That much I can tell you. And the fact that the president is saying you came in, you said she wants this, you doubled it, that was the catalyst that was needed, to catapult this league upward. So thank you very much, Telkom. You are doing a great job and continue to support. It's infinity, this relationship. But you must also push them for more money. You must not be fearful. You have produced the result. It's a fair relationship. They're getting the recognition. You are getting the support. So why not? I mean, those in football, Bobra, Ivan, and others, they've pushed the sponsors to, they never undervalued themselves. They made sure that they get true value in terms of those who want to partner with them. And netball is the biggest sport in our schools, together with football. So every single school has a netball team, literally. So you can't underscore such value. Literally means every child has, especially girl child, interacts with netball once in their lives. So that is value. That's proposition that you put. That this is what I'm giving you. I'm giving you every child. I'm delivering you in every household in this country. So push hard, but thank you for coming on board, Telkom. We truly, truly appreciate it. The leadership of netball in the continent, the president of Zambia, thank you for coming and supporting your president. I think you are affection. I can see the relationship there. I've noted it. You can see Urumogi Kistalamo. The president of our own in Gauteng, Mr. Lotring. I've brought the leadership of my department, led by the acting HOD, is also present to support the sport. We in Gauteng, we really do support netball. We are committed in supporting netball. In fact, when we give out sports kits in our schools, we only provide for 2 currently sporting codes. Consistently, we try to bring other sporting codes as well, depending on infrastructure, depending on demand, depending on requisition that we are getting from schools. But all schools do demand a netball kit. And that's what we continue to try to provide. Obviously, the budget is limited now because we're going through some austerity measures across. I was hoping that DSEC will come on board, but when you want them, I don't know where they are. You see them somewhere. So I'm lobbying you nicely. Oh, I see you on TV, together with Minister Mackenzie, speaking about VAR. VAR, give us kits so that we can give children. VAR will find itself there. So that's where we sometimes, but we do. So those are the support. We need more money to ensure that we cover all schools. But most of our schools do participate in our Wednesday league, so that I can update you, President. Champions League, and the winners, we give them hefty checks. We give them, I think, 50,000 for winning the school sports championship, and obviously access to all the other competitions that take place across the country and internationally. So we do have a lot of investment that we're putting in our schools. We're also embarking on a process where we're going to be renovating our school infrastructure, sports school infrastructure, especially netball courts in schools. We're going to start by centralizing some of the courts so that all kids, in terms of a jurisdiction area, they can share that netball, those schools, so that at least at the center it's just opportunity and access, talent identification, and all of that. So we're putting all of that into one comprehensive program so that we're able to deliver. I'm a believer in development. But if you don't invest here, you will never get here. It will be an expensive. That's why you find some other teams take their national teams into camps to prepare prepare them for something else, because they've not really invested enough here. So if you invest here, the investment at the top becomes far less. So this is what we're doing. We're focusing at the grassroots, at the girl child, and I've seen some boys are also playing netball. Yes, and those boys, and girls and boys at a certain age, they can play together, but as they grow older, we don't want them on the same team. They need to, men are physically stronger, so they'll be shoving our girls all over, and don't want that. So, no, it's physiology, it's not me. It's not me, it's not me. But it's important for transformation of the sport and the growth of the sport. So we're doing a lot, as a province, in ensuring that we invest in that aspect. But with that said, I think mine was just to bring on the DM. But before, let me recognize also Mama Joy. She just told me that she's going to Orlando Pirates. So Mama Joy, we appreciate you to go to. They're taking you then KwaZulu Natal. So come back to. She was at Royal AM, so she's going back to Pirates now that Royal AM is at SARS. So Mama Joy is back in Gauteng again. So I took Chauke from Limpopo to Gauteng. So he said, don't blame me. Don't blame me. It's the province of. We're the home of champions. What can we do? But with that said, DM, mine was to introduce you, the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture in our country, a very hardworking comrade of mine, a yellow bone. No, she's one of the few yellow bones that I work with. You can see which area and our born. DM, the stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Program Director Ntate Chilwani. Thank you very much for introducing me. Unlike Ntate Chilwani, I want to protest, President, that there's no sign language interpreter. I don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the law. So I must upfront mention that it's a weakness. You need to improve on that. Thank you very much. President of Netball, our beautiful Cecilia, the mother of the nation, Muratu King, Mukhetwa. Thank you very much for sharing the love. Indeed, your daughter was correct to say that go and share love. You do share love, and you're also loved by those who are surrounding you. You mentioned your husband, your late husband, several times, and that really touched me, and it could only mean one thing: she is ready. Piamadoda, Cecilia is ready, and she's available. It can't be a coincidence. Executive members of Netball South Africa, thank you for taking netball to the people. And I want to say that you are a bunch of winners, and you work as a collective. I haven't seen you competing for anything. You understand the protocol. You know who's the leader. So thank you very much for that. If it was not for that, you would have not reached this stage. President of Netball from Zambia. No doubt that netball is an international sport, and it is also humbling to see women supporting one another. Ma'am, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. MEC Hlabi, MEC Maseko, MEC Chilwani, who will only take information from my social media platforms, but never likes my post. Your presence is a true reflection of how netball is rooted in our communities. And like what the president said, please continue to support netball in your communities. I haven't had a chance to go through your budgets to check as to, are you having a specific amount dedicated to netball or not? So maybe I should do that in the next coming week. Mr. Sipombele from the presidency, SASCOC board members present here, coaches present, our legend, Miss Bongiwe Msomi. Miss Bongiwe, please stand up. Allah, Allah. When it comes to legends, you know, other sporting codes are recognized. You know, they still live lavishly, they have sponsors, but when it comes to netball, it's a different situation, and we really need to improve on that. We really need to improve on that. We need to work hard to recognize them, because if it was not for their contribution, we would not be here. Leaders, confederations present, super fans, Dumelang, Mama Joy, you are appreciated and you are loved. Telkom, Miss Helen Dinawani, our sponsor. We thought it would have not be possible, and thank you very much for believing in a girl child. Telkom, I want to also say that indeed netball has redefined. When we took over the 7th administration, we had one-on-ones with entities and federations, and amongst those who came to introduce themselves to us was Netball South Africa. And they presented their mission, their vision, and it came to their budget. And that really touched my heart. And it made me to reflect as a young black girl born during the times of apartheid. I then said to the minister, Minister, do you know that there is no black woman born before apartheid who would say that they've never played netball? Because it was a compulsory sports for young black women. And he looked at me and said, Peace, you know you're right, even my mother played netball. I said, just call everybody, your aunts, they all played netball. And I told him that I also played netball, and I played the center. You hear? I have my friends here, they know. And today, in fact, I had to think deeper as to why at some point I decided to quit netball. Is because I was so obsessed with playing the center. And there was another player called Mondo Milanzi. Teachers would prefer her playing the center as opposed to me. I could not understand. But I understand now today, because Mondo was tiny and she was more flexible than me. So she was able to run around. And I couldn't understand until I was presented with this opportunity. I've always wondered, but why was Mondo given that responsibility and not me? So netball, just like our country, it has a very rich history. And because of challenges that women in sports faces, we tend to lose good players. And during that period until now, you could imagine if netball was open to everyone, how many stars we could have produced to this date, you know. It is just 30 years in our democracy, but netball still finds its way to the top. The history of netball in South Africa, with the story that you know about the All-White South African Women's Netball Association, which was established in 1951, and the sports returned to international competition in 1995, just after the unbanning, and also after the 20 years of boycott. But today, South African netball is ranked the 5th in the world, and it has transformed drastically with a high representation of young women. I want to appreciate the fact that netball, it is vibrant and rooted in all provinces. That's the reason why MECs are here. And also, that's the reason why when you presented your budget to us, we felt that with that little money, and yet you are able to cover such a big spaces. You are able to go to all provinces across all ages. You also participate internationally. We then took a decision that we will increase your budget for the 2025-2024. You did not end those zeros because of you are favored, but you end the extra zeros because of you are deserving and you are hardworking. So more money is coming your way. And we also want to invite more sponsors to come and partner with you. But you know, there's something about money. When you have little, you achieve. But when you have abundance, you have problems. Cecilia, we don't want that. More money should mean more programs, more successful stories. Because it was not easy. I'm sure other sporting codes will tell you, you know, there's been a serious reconfiguration of the budget. There's been a lot of cuts, you know. So you are really a chosen one. Zeros are going to be added in your budget. So that should mean more strength. I've said it that we want to invite more funders. It should not be Telkom and SPA in particular, and Southern Sun and Puma. I don't want to talk about Puma because we fight a lot about that. So we want to invite more sponsors because we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Education. And it means the first sport that is going to be played in schools is netball and soccer. So for a girl child to be able to be present at school for 5 days and be able to at least practice 3 times a week, it means that we need to make sure that their dignity as well is protected. We need sponsorship for more sanitary towels. And sanitary towels, we should be specific when we donate them. We should donate them to young women who are active in sports, so that young women should all develop interest of playing. It's an incentive. Those who are not interested will then have to grow interest. But I'm not saying that we should sideline them, but I'm saying preference should be given to young women who are active in sports. So I want to challenge business. I want to challenge people who can afford to at least continue contributing towards sanitary towels. The war against menstruation will never end. It's an ongoing battle that we need to all fight. And if we can win there, it means we'll never lose a girl child from a netball court. We'll never lose a girl child from a sporting court. In conclusion, I want to say that Gibraltar, we are going, and we are going for a kill. Let the best team win. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Ms. Peace Mabe, obviously saying that may the best team win at the World Youth World Cup. I don't know, Precious. Surely the baby Proteas, the Spar baby Proteas, should be the team to walk away with that title come September, right? Yes. Minister, how many zeros are you adding to that budget? Chele, diminished.
Money's coming.
Money's coming. Lots of money, right? Absolutely, that's what we love. Netball, of course, is the biggest women's sporting federation in the country, so it deserves that support. And we've seen the excellence of, players on the court, the national team also doing well. The baby Proteas are going to Gibraltar later on this year, having played enormously well, by the way, during those qualifiers in March of last year, undefeated, by the way, come the end of those qualifiers. So thank you so much for that, Minister. It's now time for a quick panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd like to invite onto stage back the Minister, the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Ms. Peace Mabe, as well as the MECs who are here with us this morning, MEC Cholwade, MEC Tlapi, as well as MEC Maseko, and the Deputy Vice President, or should I say the Vice President of SASCOG, Rwandile Semelani, to have a conversation with us about netball, about the TNL, and what support all of these organizations will be giving to netball in this country. Guys, come on stage.
That is the only protocol.
Minister, Deputy Minister, allow me to start with you. I do understand that this is the first time you will be experiencing the TNL. Came to office, obviously, last year after the elections. What is exciting you about experiencing your first ever Telkom Netball League?
Their contribution for money, of course.
Yeah.
That's my first excitement. But the commitment that they've carried over years, and also for believing in a girl child. We must also mention that without sponsorship, there's no way that sports can thrive. Sports can only be sustained when there is money available, because there's a lot that goes into sports. I'm not talking about just, me and you playing, but I'm talking about professionalizing sports. It takes a lot because you first have to have coaches that are well trained, so that when athletes are there, they are able to support them adequately. So what excites me is that, in particularly netball, it has brought all people together. So it's a true reflection of social cohesion that we want to achieve as South Africans. We've come a long way, as I have said, and netball has really transformed over years. And it is because of that, not much was given to them, but at least there was commitment from sponsors.
Yeah, the commitment from sponsors quite very vital to the success, of any sporting code. What then do you say is the impact of sport in sort of addressing the national priorities and minister of this country? The national priorities of what impact sport has in addressing those national priorities of this country.
I've said it, national cohesion.
Yeah.
Bringing our people together, making sure that the young people, they refrain from, challenges that are there, and they are kept in safe places. If you are in a sporting, if you belong to a sporting code, you know that drugs is a no go zone, because at any given time, the doping, what do they call it, federation can just come in and test if you are using any form of drugs or not. So those are the things that we feel they should be. Those are the things that I feel that they have really improved. But I must also mention that it is not enough. When you look at the demographics, when you look at the geographical spread, champions, they only emerge in one province, and the MEC said it proudly this morning. But we want to change that narrative as well, to make sure that rural provinces are also catered for. Rural provinces, there's proper infrastructure.
Absolutely.
There's training of coaches, and there's integration as well. So that is where we want to focus during this seventh administration. And of course, with more money that we are committing to netball, there is no doubt that they are equal to the task, and they will be able to put more emphasis in rural areas. And not only Limpopo, because the president comes from Limpopo, and during December, when they go home, they go together. That's what she said. When we go home, we go together. So we want children from the Northern Cape, children from Mpumalanga, from Northwest, deep rural areas of the Northern Cape and the Eastern Cape as well. They should be covered in these programs.
Absolutely. The good thing about this year's TNL is that it will be taking place in the Northwest Province, and that's where we find the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture in that province, Ms. Tsotso Hlapi. And just to also look at the fact that these days, the 26th of April until the 4th of May, it's the first Power Week, that will be hosted in the Northwest Province at the Sun City Super Bowl, the 13th until the 17th of June, also in the Northwest. And then the third Power Week will be from the 14th until the 20th of July. So we'll also give an indication as to where to buy your tickets, because I can imagine a lot of people are quite excited about buying the tickets and, of course, having a TNL hosted at the Sun City Super Bowl. That's amazing. MEC, talk to us about the impact of hosting a tournament of this magnitude, the impact it has on the tourism in the Northwest Province, as well as the economy.
Thank you very much, and good day. Good day. Good day. Yes. Orgir Dumelang. I think as a Northwest Province, we are very much happy to host the TNL. And I think it's not the first time we are hosting netball, Deputy Minister. They did not tell you that one of the provinces that supported netball in 2019 was the Northwest Province, and we were all over the country. As much as we agree that we are feeding you, MEC Matome, those players are from our provinces. But I think this time around, we are happy that at least you are also going to spend your money in our province. And that's what we want. But I also know that some of the players did not even see Sun City. And they are not now happy to see that Sun City. You will know that everyone, at least everyone who travels, who comes to South Africa, even if they go to Cape Town, to Gauteng, but they also want to see Sun City. And that's why we are so proud that we are going to host that, and our economy is going to be boosted. And this is something that we want. And I think the Department of Economic Development will be much happy, President, that Sun City has more accommodations. We can host plus minus 6,000 guests around the resort. I did not count others that are outside neighboring places around that. But I think with the TNL going to the Northwest Province, even those that are in Leerdach, those that are in Moses Kotane in particular. By the way, Sun City is in Moses Kotane, not in Rustenburg. People do not know that. It's just that they seem to like Rustenburg more than Moses Kotane. It is in a deep rural. It is built in a mountain, just inside the mountain. So there's a rich history about Sun City. And that's why I'm saying we are happy that our economy is going to be boosted, and our petrol stations, obviously, they are going to benefit from your visit.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, when you visit there, don't just stay in Sun City. When we are breaking, because normally when we host these channels, there are breaks, and the President spoke about it, Deputy Minister, to say, "Bana ba ke bana, they also need to play. Take them outside Sun City so that they can see the Northwest Province, how rich we are in terms of heritage."
Just a final one from you then, MEC, the infrastructure, the facilities, because we want to make sure that the TNL, the matches are hosted in the correct infrastructure, up to standard as well. Talk to us about the state of readiness. The facilities, are they up to par?
Wow, we are more than ready with Sun City. I must indicate, Sun City is one of the best venue that you can think of across South Africa. But speaking to some of the infrastructures around the province, because we will be next to Moroleng, we are engaging with the private sector to work together. As you know that we do not have more resources as government. So we are in engagement with our private resources. You'll know that we are a mining town. So we are engaging mostly with the mining towns so that they can help us with our infrastructures, and we also have developed the maintenance plan to can maintain them, because sometimes we fix them after a certain time or after a certain period they be dilapidated again. So we are in engagement with the private sector, because they do have a lot of money than us as government. We will come to the conclusion that they can have a maintenance plan, and we are going to make sure that we're taking care of it. We've got Royal Bafokeng Stadium, one of the nice stadium in the Northwest. I think all of you knows that we even hosted 2010
FIFA World Cup.
yes, FIFA World Cup, it was there. We also have a Moruleng Stadium, we also have a Mabato Stadium. We are busy with those stadiums that we need to fix them. But I can tell you, President, Netball can also come to Mahikeng. The stadium is now getting to what we want. Also, the Bafokeng one is one of the best. So we are busy maintaining our facilities to make sure that they also comply in terms of how sport want, because you know that sport people, so they don't want to play in anything. So we always make sure that we want to comply. But I think the private sector will help us, and we will manage our facilities.
Madam President, are you satisfied with that? You satisfied? You fine? You happy? Great. Let me say, Chulwane, let's bring you into this conversation now. The home of champions. You are hosting us this afternoon for this launch. Earlier, you alluded to the fact that Waitziking, this is the home of champions. 2 teams from the Gauteng province have won this league before. You know, the Gauteng Jaguars, as well as the Gauteng Fireballs. Your advice to your fellow MECs, what are that? Why is it that a Northwest Flames from the Northwest province have not won? The Limpopo Baobabs have won Division 2, and that's all right, Division 2, so they'll be actually playing in Division 1 this year. Just talk to me about why you think Gauteng continues to produce the champions that they do, and your advice to your fellow MECs.
No, thank you. advice, I don't know. Well, as I've said earlier, it drives down to development most. If you invest at the development stage, you will get the results, you know, and development is deliberate. We don't want an accidental outcome. You know, talent at an older stage to see somebody playing, then we need to start there, incubate, protect, harness, and then get the results. And that's what we do. You know, the collaboration between the sporting federations and schools and also development teams, it's quite important, that one, because that's where you are able to get the product and really ensure that even if the outcome, you really get, you know, the best. You know, sometimes one of the things is that is also a challenge in certain sporting, especially at the level of development. You know, there was this negative tendency that was creeping in DM of connection. When your child, my child, you know, I don't think my child will know how to play football as much as he thinks he does.
Yeah.
But because I know Kaiser Bobby Mtaung as an example, then he goes and plays at development and achieves. That's not how it's supposed to be. It has to be got to do with talent, identifying those who actually deserve to be there. Then we'll be able to get the outcomes that we want. You know, so that was this tendency that was creeping in. And really, you know, at the level of even transformation, opening up. You know, we have to open up so that you can create your pool of those who should be able to be playing in this particular sector. So it's important that we open up, you go outside, we look beyond, even beyond access to infrastructure, because infrastructure, it is critical, DM, which you're correct. We need to invest there, because that's where you are able to see and expose, you know, the children at that level. But let's open up, you know, open up the teams, look up beyond, you know, go across.
Yeah.
Rugby does it. Cricket does it. Netball should also start doing it. Partnering with certain schools, ensure that, okay, this is, for example, in rugby and cricket, they partner with schools. They go and identify a child in the deep rural, and they take this child, they incubate them in this particular school, because they know this one is a future Kolisi, is a future, etc. So we need to even go to that level, open up this pool, then you can get the results.
Yeah, the open up of the pool, the talent identification is quite very important if netball is to succeed, of course,
And pay
in
more.
the country.
And they must
more.
pay. And they must pay. If you put money, they will stay in Limpopo.
Hey, Minister did say that the budget will be increasing. We don't know about how much, but it will be increasing. Let me see Maseko, all the way from Limpopo. Passing the borders of Limpopo to come to Gauteng for this launch. Why is it important, do you think, for, you know, provincial leaders to leave their borders and to come support the TNL in Gauteng?
Yeah, thanks very much. Let me indicate that I concede that Limpopo is one of the rural provinces based on its historical setup. But let me indicate, and I want to assure the nation and the MEC Chilwan, that gone are the days where our talents that we have unearthed in that province will continue to come to Gauteng.
Oh, by the way,
We consciously, we've got a very clear program with our Academy of Sports,
yeah,
where we conceptualize construction of a high performance center, where all different sporting codes will be given an opportunity to participate. On Thursday, I've got a budget speech. Go listen to me. I'm going to talk about that. And we are engaging the private sector, particularly the mining houses, to make sure that they assist us in terms of developing this huge investment. And by so doing, we'll be harvesting our talent against Gauteng. So that we can become this Limpopo that we take ownership of our athletes.
yeah.
we woo our private sector to support us so that these rural people should also be afforded an opportunity to be developed. That is, to us, is very, very much critical. We are also discussing very seriously with the same mining houses. Mind you, we've got a lot of platinum belt in both in Skukune and towards your Waterpack. We are collaborating with the Department of Economic Development around these critical issues of decentralizing sports development in the deep rural end, because that's where there is talent. That's where young people are disciplined in rural areas, because there are no lot of things to entertain them. There are no pubs there, there are no clubs there. It's either it's sports, school, and household work in their homes. So we are deliberately doing that, and give me these 5 years, Limpopo will never be the same again.
All right. That's a bold move. That's a bold statement to make. MEC, in the next 5 years, Limpopo will never be the same again. But you have to keep your athletes. You have to keep these youngsters in your province.
Yes.
You have to keep them there.
Yes.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
We are very clear.
I'm from Limpopo.
Yeah. We are
Yeah?
very...
Like Limpopo.
We-
Yeah, I'm in Gauteng.
We are very clear with our sports confederations,
Yeah.
with a number of statutory bodies there. We are planning together. Number one, we are engaging the University of Limpopo about the possibility of constructing a high-performance swimming pool. We are engaging very seriously with the DM around the matter. And once it finds its space, I can tell you we'll be producing swimming athletes from Limpopo, from the University of Limpopo. So these are, we are also discussing with the minister about the possibility of constructing a high standard stadium in Skukuneland, where your Skukune United comes from. Because we have got a lot of mining houses there. So we are collaborating with the local mayor there, from Fitaho Mutubatse, with the minister, and even the chairman of Skukune United, so that we engage the private sector together with ourselves.
All right.
I also raised that with the minister. We will also invite him and the deputy minister, so that when we assemble these mining managers, we go together as government and make a presentation that will be fundable. So our plans are too huge, and I can tell you these are the 3 flagship projects that as an MEC we have identified for these 5 years. That's why I can confidently tell you that come these 5 years, we will never be the same, I can tell you.
We'll be watching this very,
Sure.
very, very, very closely, Minister Maseko. Randile Simelani, ma'am, Vice President of SASCOC. You've heard what the MECs have said. The minister's also here. What's the work that SASCOC is doing behind the scene to ensure that there's enough visibility when it comes to the TNL, when it comes to netball in this country? Because this is a popular sport. What work are you guys doing behind the scenes to ensure that Netball South Africa receives the right support?
We're here, President, aren't we? I think good afternoon to everybody. I think what the MECs have been saying here have been making me excited.
Yeah.
I think MEC Masego, one of the things that will resolve your problems, you need to go speak to the guys there at University Sport, because you're losing a lot of your people when they come to MEC Chilwane to knock on higher learning, and then they settle roots here. So that is also one of your problem areas, and how your provinces are not retaining. However, I mean, I'm a Mpumalanga kid. And when the World Cup trophy came around, I had the opportunity to see it either in Gauteng, where I live and now, but I went home and I went to go and receive the trophy in Mpumalanga. And it was important for me to do that because I had to show other children in our province as well the beauty of being able to see things from abroad and not having to leave home to see it. It is so critical for each and every individual, MECs and the DM. I think the message for us, there's a netball team that must go to the Commonwealth Games next year. There's a netball team that must go represent us at the AUSC Region 5 Games in Namibia upcoming. Those people come from your provinces. those kids who have to go and represent and end up making Team South Africa at either the Olympics or in a netball context at the Commonwealth Games. And it's critical, MECs, that each and every child should not be restricted by where they are from what they dream. If I want to be a netball player, it should be a reality in my home in the Northern Cape, as it is a reality for me in my home in Gauteng. If I want to be an ice skater, if I want to be a this, the same must be said. I should not have to leave home to realize my dreams. And that, I think, is the message that SASCOC has. One of the greatest things you'll see about netball, in your inbox, you'll get invite after invite after invite. You would think, yo, these people like things. But it actually just shows you that there's something happening. Today we're doing Telkom National League for senior netball players. There's going to be something for the kids coming later. There's going to be something for the men coming later. There's going to be something for this. There's going to be something for that. There is life and there is activity. Because at the end of the day, as the DM said, when there is more, there must be more happening, not less. When you have more interest, when you have more people participating and working within your federation, then you'll see what happens here at netball. Week in, week out, we are netballing. Week in, week out. But we are netballing week in, week out because there are those who wish to consume it. We are in the business of making dreams here, President. And that is what we do. Tomorrow, you're creating young women who will be Commonwealth Games medalists. You are creating World Cup champions. That is the business we are in here on a high performance level. We can speak everything developmentally and whatnot, but you know, when you have to go to Olympic House and come and account at the end of your 2026 cycle about what happened at the Commonwealth Games, you need to be able to talk about how Telkom National League, Netball League helps you in cultivating those performances and how these MECs and this Deputy Minister and this ministry also helps you in ensuring that you're coming home to be a world-class outfit. And I mean, we had the misfortune of missing the Netball World Cup. We were on duty at Trinidad and Tobago at the Youth Commonwealth Games. I believe, Coach, did they get a medal? They got a medal, the girls, eh? Yes. So a silver medal that the girls brought back from the Youth Commonwealth Games in Trinidad and Tobago. So that is the a good indication of the fact that some of us had our hearts set on being at the first World Cup in Africa, but we had other business of going to fetch a silver medal in Trinidad, and that you did, and well done to that, and congratulations to you and to your team and everything that you guys do to realize the dreams of young men and young women who endeavor to be international and global women in sport and men in sport. So I want to give you that gratitude as SASCOC to yourselves as a national federation for the work that you do for your athletes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's how we wrap up the first panel discussion. Minister, thank you. MECs, as well as the Vice President of SASCOC. Thank you very much.
To the infrastructure. I have good stories to share.
One-on-ones. All right, let's move on to our next panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Let me call then the President of Netball South Africa, Ms. Cecilia Molokwane, onto stage, joined by the SPAR Baby Proteas, Head Coach Precious Mthembu, as well as the Captain of the side, Poppy Namatangari. You're in the middle. This one is for you. Precious, move closer. Come on now. We do not bite. We promise. Madam President, flanked by players. You know, at some point you were a player yourself, moved on to coach. Precious Mthembu here was a player, the national team player, also played, by the way, in the TNL for Kingdom Stars many years ago, and has made the progression to now being a coach. And here's a youngster who played in the TNC as well, now playing in the Telkom Netball League. you've seen the progression of youngsters here. You've seen the progression of players into coach, the power of this Telkom Netball League. Talk to us about that.
I always say to people, it's so easy in life to sit back and complain and talk about things. When I took over as Netball South Africa president, I said, I complained sitting on the side. Let me be the change that I want to see. We complained because, truly speaking, there was no succession plan. I can sit here and say there was no succession plan in the country. And I was worried to say, we have got players, but we don't have succession plan. We've got coaches. I was a coach.
Yeah.
And I never had a succession plan of where to from there. After I was told to resign, by the way, I was forced to resign as the assistant coach of the country. I was forced. The truth needs to be told, needs to come out. I was forced to resign. And after I resigned, without my will and my whatever that I wanted to do, I said, I'm not going to back up. I'm not going to back down. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to do what? I'm going to be the change that I wanted to see. I'm going to groom and I'm going to give support to the young coaches that are coming after me, who are actually, at the time I was very racist, I'm not now. I said, who are black like me? I want them to see the road, I want them to see the path. Because we were treated in a certain way. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this. So I said when we came in, I want to give credit. You know, I always say, we want to give people flowers when they are dead and go to their graves and cry and never tell them when they are alive. I want to give credit to the director coaches in Netball South Africa now, Anneli Lucas. When she came into the board, she said, what do you want me to do? As you are my leader and I'm your director coaches, what is your plan? I said, you had a very beautiful plan that you sent to me at the time when you were not in the executive. That's one thing that made me to go and sell your name. But the other thing is, let's change the narrative. Rachel, you were there. When TNL, when we took over, I was the only black coach in the TNL. And I said to Anneli, we have got black coaches who are capable, who are sitting out there, but they don't believe in themselves. We need to make them believe in themselves. And what about doing that? We have to give them opportunity. I said, there's nothing like you're throwing somebody into the deep end or you're putting up for failure, because that was the way it in Netball South Africa. When I came in, is no, don't do this, you're putting up people for failure. Go, I always say, my father always say to me, try and fail. However, never fail to try. So I didn't want them to fail. So we gave Precious that opportunity to say, you were once a player.
Yeah.
Commonwealth Games happened. Got an ACL. I was there. I was watching the game. And I remember I sobbed. I didn't cry. I was sobbing. Because I knew the gap she was leaving in the team. And I said, okay, Precious, you can ask her, what do you want to do? She said, I think I want to do coaches. And I'm like, okay, you want to do coaching? How do I help you? And I was on board. And I saw Poppy coming up from a young player, from playing TNC.
Yeah.
TNC, by the way, if people don't know, is Telkom Netball Champs. It's our championship in collaboration with Telkom again, where schools, we're playing with schools under 17, schools under 18, and schools and districts under 19. So if there's one federation who want to learn how to work with schools and the collaboration between schools and the federation, come to Netball. We are having a very beautiful relationship. When Luandile went to 2023 to Trinidad and Tobago, I'll tell you today, Vice President, that team was a school team. There was no any federation player there. We deliberately and cautiously took a decision of taking school kids to Trinidad and Tobago, and we did that. Poppy was part of the team that went to Region 6, Region 5. You only know Poppy as TNC. I'm telling you, she went to Region 5. She went to Region 5, they came back with a gold medal. Poppy grew, and then Tex took her after she finished her school.
Yeah.
And they saw this brilliant child in this girl and say, how do we put her where she belongs and where she should be? I mean, when Poppy, I'll always say this because it humbles me. When they played Jamaica, you don't know what happened. We were there. Luca got hurt. Luca is our goal defense of the under 21s, who's from Swani, who studies in Tex. As I said, I know them. I'll tell you who's who. So Luca got hurt. The coach was, I saw the two coaches going like this on the bench, and I said, yeah, now the popo is hitting the fan. And after they did that, Poppy was on the bench. She was just replaced. She had no injury. You were 15, 20 goals ahead, I think, about that. And then I don't think she saw the need of putting Poppy on court. And then Poppy was taken aside. And as Poppy was taken aside, Poppy, when Luca got hurt, I went to the other side because I see that we are only few here. There's nobody who can do that because it's not the whole South Africa who's here. So the coaches were concentrated on the game. And then after I went there, I got Poppy in that room. She was saying to Luca, concentrate on your healing.
Yeah.
We are here to do it for you. Don't worry. That's when I saw the captain and a leader on and off court of another player. Because if it was another player, it was like, it's not me. Why do I have to worry about it? That's the kind of a leader we have, and we are grooming. I mean, I'm happy to say, Poppy, maybe you must look up to Bongim Somi. You must look up to Kanyisa Chawan. I'll tell you why. Because Bongim Somi was once the captain of the under 21s of the country. Kanyisa Chawani was once the captain of the under 21 of the country. You are the captain of the under 21 of the country. I'm looking at Coach Jenny. Here's the future.
Precious, let's bring you into this conversation, Precious. I mean, earlier on, we saw the president launching the road to Gibraltar, right? This is where you guys will be facing off with some of the best youth teams in the world for that World Cup in Gibraltar in September of this year. The president also having confirmed that the baby Spar Proteas will be partaking in the Telkom Netball League. A former player, a former coach in the TNL, now coaching the baby Spar Proteas in this league. Talk to me about why participating in this league would benefit your team.
Thank you, Rachel. I think each and every opportunity the girls get to take part on court is very important. A lot of questions are asked, why taking the team to Jamaica again? I think, again, it was an opportunity for them to start measuring themselves against other players out there, just besides players in Africa. We also want to see other players. There's players who didn't go to Jamaica, and it's an opportunity for us to give an opportunity to prove themselves. They want to be in the plane going to Gibraltar.
Yeah.
So, we're pretty excited to bring them on board and make them have a fair chance of playing. I mean, some of them will be first time playing TNL, first time playing against the Spar Protea players. You're playing against the top players in the country. Why not give them opportunity and start measuring them against others? So it's part of the journey that we want to use going to Gibraltar. We cannot play in the competition and get them on court and work on combination and see what we have.
Any areas in particular that you would be using this tournament to sort of fine tune going into the World Cup?
I think all areas.
Yeah.
There's no area where there's a black and white, but it's all areas because we want to take the best team and give them the platform of saying, oh, you know what, she's better than me. She deserves to be there.
Yeah.
She deserves to be in the final 12. Or I'm gonna come back next year. I'm still young. I'll come back in next year and try again. But I think all areas we work on it. I think we have a little bit of time, not enough time. But we've got training camps coming up. We just did remote coaching last week, and it's really good to see what we have. I think what we will add on the coaching, the training camp we had last week, and you could just see how hungry they are. And want to prove that they want to be part of the team.
Poppy, let's put you on the spot. Do you know where Gibraltar is on the map? Do you even know where Gibraltar is on the world map?
I know it's close to Italy, somewhere there.
quite exciting times, right? Exciting times for you, exciting times for the coach, exciting time for your teammates and the team. Talk to us about how much you guys are looking forward to the World Cup. Because this is not the first time you're participating in the TNL, right?
No, it's not the first
So
time.
you have that experience.
Yes, yes.
Some of your players, some of your teammates are playing for the very first time. How much excitement is there from your teammates who are playing for the very first time in this league?
I think the excitement is very much there. Like, we're hungry, like Coach said, we want to play and we want to come into this competition, not to just participate, but to also compete and create that BMT of going into the World Cup, because I think it's going to be a very tough competition, definitely. But we're very much excited. The youngsters are also coming in for the first time playing TNL. I think everyone's just excited, and being part of the Spar Baby Proteas, it's a very good opportunity to play in this Telkom League with the best players in the country.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very good platform that we've been given to actually start preparation for the Netball World Youth Cup coming up.
Yeah, you guys were in Jamaica
Yes.
earlier on this year, coming back with a series win, eh?
Go
Series win.
3 out of 3.
With the cup, girl, with the gold medal as well. How much of that success do you think has sort of built a good foundation now going into the World Cup? Maybe I should be asking Coach, not to put you on the spot, but how much of that success, it's a huge success. You come to Jamaica, you beat the home side 3-0, you come back with the gold. Surely that has created a level of confidence that no other team can take away from you, even though you're going to be playing against the best teams in this tier now.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of confidence in the team right now because we've been doing really well. And I think we just need to build on that confidence going to this competition and going into the Netball World Youth Cup. I think just building on that confidence that we've been building throughout this journey that we've come to, and just do our best and also enjoy the game, because I think the pressure is always there and we forget to enjoy the game as well. And that's one thing that like brings up the reason why we play netball is because we enjoy it so much. So just enjoying it and riding through the ride as well.
Riding through the ride as well. I wonder whether there'll be a lot of pressure coming from the president of this organization as you guys get ready for Gibraltar. President, as we wrap up this conversation, the status of netball in this country, since you came and assumed the presidency in 2017.
I think we are happy. I think we are the most healthiest federation. We've got our own problems, obviously. We are not perfect. We'll never be perfect. But I think we are healthy. I mean, I was in netball for a very long time. As a player, as a coach, as an administrator, still an administrator. You wouldn't see so many people coming to a launch of Netball South Africa. You know what I'm talking about. I'm giving an example that is live now. You wouldn't see this. That means netball has grown.
Yeah.
That means netball is recognized now. That means bit by bit, as Rome was never built in a day, we are going towards building Rome, and we are going towards completing building Rome, because we want to complete building Rome. So to me, netball is growing, and it will grow. And as long as I'm a woman like I am, and I can still give birth, girls will always be born. I mean, Simi just gave birth to another girl. So it means netball, as long as Simi is giving birth, netball will never, I mean, Simi is a former national player of this country.
Yes.
She might be a commentator, but people don't know that she's a former national player. Yeah. As long as Simi and Lontle are still giving birth, and they are former national players, it means to me, netball won't die. It means there will be other netball players that are born and that will be stars. And we must make sure that we open that gate. And then when they do that, we support them. At the end of the day, I want to thank everybody who came on board, because we, as I always say, we complain. That's why they say, sometimes wake up in the morning and say, God, thank you for waking up.
Yeah.
Nothing else, because we forget to thank God for just waking up because somebody didn't wake up. So I think it's our turn to say, thank you, God, for giving me the spiritual wisdom. I don't want to say my own wisdom, because I cannot have my own wisdom. For giving me the spiritual wisdom, for giving me spiritual eyes and ears to hear you when you say, netball should be taken to this level. Netball, this is what you're doing, and you're not doing it for yourself. Remember, Rachel, I'm gone. My days are gone. I cannot be on a netball court anymore. I cannot coach anymore, but somebody can do it. So let me not close opportunities for those that can do it, but open opportunities for those who can do it. So that's what we are doing right now, to making it to be that big and to be that. That's why now you see we are going towards super fans. And we are going towards those who love netball must be able to benefit from them loving netball. You cannot love netball on a site and we don't know about you.
right.
I mean, the first day I knew about a white super fan in netball was the name of Genevieve. And you know why I knew about her? She was wearing a t-shirt written a black player on her back. And I'm like, what a coincidence. This person is white. And she was like, Nomfunda! And I'm like, what's happening? And you see, and that's how you knew her. And that's what we are going to. Male now can proudly say, I'm a male netball player. And I don't have to hide behind to say, I am from the LGBTQ plus community. No, I am straight and I can still play netball. And this is what we want. To see netball being diverse, to see netball being non-discriminative, and to see netball growing every day. We are not going to be favorites. I don't want to be everybody's favorite. I don't want to be loved or liked, but I want to be remembered.
Absolutely, Madam President. I'll have to cut you there. Thank you so much for those words. She wants to be remembered as the president who did the lot. Thank you so much, President Cecilia Molokwane, Coach Precious Mthembu, as well as Captain Poppy. Thank you and all the best of luck.
Please don't do it.
The future, right? The future of maybe the Star Proteas, because at some point they have to start somewhere at the under 21 level. We are joined now by Tato Lehodi of the Baby Proteas, as well as Gyadi Prinsloo. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right.
Gyada, but close enough.
Oh, Gyada Prinsloo. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Huh? You look
Thank
nervous.
you for having us.
Are you nervous? No, you can't be nervous. No. So, Tato, we'll start with you, ma'am. Your first time in the TNL? Second time. How was the first experience of playing in the TNL last year?
The first experience, I was so scared.
So scared?
Yeah.
Put the mic like this.
I was so scared
Fabulous.
because
Yeah.
it was my first time of experiencing playing with all the players, and I'm the young player. And another thing, I experienced more skill by learning more about how they play and how I play. Yes.
You play goalkeeper
Yeah.
Yeah.
And goal shooter.
and goal shooter.
Yes.
When was your introduction to netball? When was the first time you played netball?
It was on 2017.
2017.
Yes.
Gyari, let's bring you to this conversation now. Your experience of the TNL, how much experience do you have in the TNL, and your introduction to netball?
So I was a training partner for the Fireballs 2 years ago. So last year was my first year competing in the TNL, and definitely a nerve-wracking experience. But I believe I became a stronger player coming out of it. I was the youngest player in the team at the time, and I got so much respect from my fellow teammates, and it was such a valuable learning experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And that's amazing because it tells me that this is what you take seriously and this is what you want to do going forward. At some point, you'd want to progress into the national team. And I'm going to ask you guys all the same question. And Bobby, I'll start with you. How are you going to use this opportunity of playing the TNL to attract the attention of Coach Jenny van Dijk, who's here today and who's probably looking for the next stars of the senior team?
I think just playing my best game with every game, play it like it's your last game, and enjoy it as well. Because I think you play your best when you're enjoying it. So, yeah.
Yandi, how are you going to use this opportunity to attract the attention of the senior selectors?
I think at the moment it's not my priority to attract attention per se.
Yeah?
At the moment, I'm focusing on being the best teammate for my team and bringing the win, bringing the gold back.
Tato?
Okay, not to attract the coaches, but then to work smart than being hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? Smarter than not being hard?
Make it easy for myself to succeed to where I want to be.
Fabulous, ladies. Thank you so much. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen. So mature in their answers. And all the best of luck in your participation in this TNL as the team part of the Baby Proteas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to ask the ladies to actually stay up on stage and call the rest of the players for a photo opportunity. These are the ambassadors, right? The different players of the different teams that will be partaking in this league. I'd like them to join me on stage alongside the other teammates, just for a photo opportunity and just to see how, the dresses are looking like, who's who in the zoo. The Jaguars, former champions. Limpopo Bear Babs, the Southern Stinks, the Chukudu, the Northwest Flames, the Sonobloma, the Tornadoes, the Free State Crinums, the defending champions, the Eastern Cape Aloes, the Mpumalanga Sunbirds, the Kingdom Queens, the Limpopo Lilies, the Kingdom Stars, as well as the Eastern Cape Comets. So ladies, let's do this. Let's have 7 players on the bottom here, and then we'll have 6 players at the top. And then I think it looks better for the photographers.
Bring the trophy in the middle.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the players representing the different 16 teams that will be partaking in this league. 16 teams, I mean the teams obviously participating in the TNL. We're adding, of course, the Baby Proteas, making them 17 teams. And then the Madam President did announce earlier on today that Zimbabwe will be coming through to South Africa to participate in the TNL. So in total, we'll have 18 teams participating in the 2025 TNL.
Today I see the smile.
So who wins the 2025 edition of the TNL, guys? Will the Free State Crinums defend their title? Are we likely to see a close final that we saw last year in Division 1? All right. Thank you so much, ladies. All the best of luck for the competition. Thank you, ladies. In the meantime, I'd like to call the MECs on stage. The Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Ms. Peace Mabe, Netball South Africa President Cecilia Mologwane for a photo opportunity. Vice President Lwandile Simelane, you can also come up on stage.
President.
Oh, Minister. Minister. The Minister did say that she played in that center position for many years. I don't see the MEC Chilwane. Matumi Chilwane, MEC. Now. Ms. Helen, please come up on stage as well to be part of this photo opportunity as the title sponsors of this league. All right. Iskawa Minister. Mr. Vivian Lottery, you cannot not be part of this photo opportunity. Please come up on stage. You welcomed us so nicely earlier on today, so please be part of this photo opportunity with the MBCs. Mr. Shane, welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Is that Shane, Mr. Shane Maja? I'd like to call up the NSA executive also to be part of this photo opportunity. They are all here today. Please come up front. The NSA executive. Is the minister? The super fans, come through. The super fans, please come up front for a picture opportunity as well. Letsatsi is also here.
Just announce in the meantime that media can go set up their cameras in the interview area on your, just on your left.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude, please note that all media personnel will have an opportunity to do one-on-one interviews with the dignitaries that are here upstage. The players, if you want to speak to the players, if you do want to speak to them, please sit up just outside of the room for any media opportunities and interviews, one-on-one interviews in particular. Thank you.
Oh, no, she just wants to.
so formal. Relax.